Ramblers, welcome to 1974. 1974, and everybody was kung fu fighting. Not me though. No, I was starting off in a career of nicking stuff. So what was happening in 74? Nixon resigned over the Watergate scandal. Yeah, proper dodgy stuff. Not like Americans to be underhand, is it? It was a World Cup year, and the World Cup was held in West Germany. And can you guess who won it? West Germany. Aye, beat Holland in the final. First division champions were dirty, vile Super Leeds. Yeah. Liverpool won the FA Cup. And Sports Personality of the Year this year was, wow, Brendan. All right, Brendan, you're a right good runner, you, man. Yeah, Brendan Foster. I think he was from Sunderland. He was Sports Personality for running around in a circle faster than anybody else. Yeah. All right, let's crack on with these old TV things. People are liking this. Yeah, it's triggering the memory, isn't it? So, here we go. Guess the 3 TV things. Here is your first one. Here's the second one. Remember it well. Here's your third one. There you go. There's your 3 TV themes. I'll tell you what they were at the end. Pretty simple, these ones, though. Okay, what else was happening on UK TV? The big seller was Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, gotta go to fucking work. Happy days. Yeah. And everyone bought into the idea that the Fonz was cool. Is it just me? Or did anybody else find that he was an absolute grade A fucking cock? Yeah. He hung around and bullied younger people, right, half his age. He didn't even have his own house, kept in an annex with Mrs. C. But the one thing that used to fucking annoy me, I'll put the picture up, look. Yeah. Hey, cool. No, I'm thinking wanker. Yeah, the Fonz. What a dick. Films of 1974, classic, particularly the sequence where they're all sat round the fire eating beans. Blazing Saddles, brilliant film, Mel Brooks. In fact, I might even watch that. I might watch it tonight, yeah. I do watch it occasionally, it still makes me laugh. Godfather Part 2, which I don't think was as good as the first one, if memory serves me well. On to music. What happened at Eurovision this year? History was made by a group that first were called the Engaged Couples. Who's that going to be, the Engaged Couples? ABBA. ABBA won Eurovision with Waterloo. Yeah, the rest is history. Lennon, I believe, made his last stage performance when he did 3 songs with Elton John. Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, still a classic album. But one of the biggest selling bands of 74, 75, 76 were Shang-a-Lang. Shang-a-Lang. Now when I eventually lose the sunroof on top and everything goes, I've got a scar on the back of my head that I've got from the Bay City Rollers. cast your minds back when Shangalang used to come on, which was like a 20-minute TV special where they'd do a couple of songs. But this particular episode, they were in the Highlands and they were swinging on swings they'd made in the trees. And I was absolutely mad on the Bay City Rollers. When this episode finished, I went out the front room where we lived at Winterton, and we had cellars there. So this cellar was about 4 or 5 concrete steps going down, and we had a coat rack that ran along the side of it. And it's about, I don't know, 5 foot down into the cellar. So I'm coming out the front room, full of pop, going, Shang-a-lang, Shang-a-lang. And I jumped on a coat to swing like Les McCowan. Fucking coat hanger snap, bang, knocked me out, concrete step, claret everywhere. So Mum had to take me down to the doctors to get sewn up. So I have got, on the back of my head, a Bay City Rollers induced scar. Yeah, still wear it proud to this day. Although, whilst I was doing the research, Bay City Rollers drummer turned out to be a little bit of a fiddler. Yeah, it was a 70s thing, wasn't it? Christmas number 1 in the UK was Mud with Lonely This Christmas. And I do envy anybody who was lonely this Christmas, because how good would it be to have no fucking near you, not having to watch people open shit and put it next to the shit they've already got and thanking them for giving them shit. I want to be lonely next Christmas, please. Please. Oh, I just did the Illuminati sign. Anyway, whilst we're on the subject of music, the song that I've chosen to sing from this particular year, beautiful tune, beautiful, from a guy called John Denver. Very clever man, great songwriter. Not so bright at making your own aeroplane and then dying in it. Yeah, that's a bit of an operator error, isn't it? So have a listen to this, and as always, I'll put a lot of pictures on from 1974 just to warm the cockles of your heart somewhat. All right, have a listen to Ali's song. Check these pictures out. I'll be back in a bit. Ta-da! You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you, let me give my life to you, let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come, let me love you, come love me again. Let me give my love to you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest,
like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
3, 2, 1, back in the room. Okay, we start part 2 on a somber note, because on June the 1st, 1974, there was Scunthorpe's worst ever disaster, and that happened at the Nipro chemical plant. Yeah, left 28 people dead, numerous injured, and quite a lot of devastation for miles and miles. And a lot of people remember it, of my generation and older, because it coincided the same day where the steelworks used to do this thing called Gala Day, which was basically just a big party up at Brumby Hall Rec Centre. And it was, I think it was something like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something when the explosion occurred. Horrific, absolutely horrific. I remember distinctly, I was with my mum on a Salvation Army trip, which was at Mablethorpe, I do believe. And we saw a dark cloud come up on the horizon, and the people who took us on the trip took us all back to a little village hall community centre place, and they asked if anybody of the wives' husbands worked at Nipro, and I remember the trip being cut short and we had to come home. So yeah, memories on Nipro. Even people I know lost family members on that particular day. So awful, awful, awful. Hopefully never to be repeated. Onwards and upwards. 74. China's terracotta army was unearthed. You know, it was a farmer who just saw some crap in the dirt and started brushing it down, and lo and behold, you've got the massive terracotta army, which is just stunningly impressive. The car, I quite like this. There was a couple of cars that were released in 1974. The Citroen CX, which was the cool looking car, beautiful thing, slinky at the back, very, very nice design. But it was the first ever Volkswagen Golf. Oh, there's been some Haymans broke in the back of that since then, hasn't there? Yeah, so the VW Golf. Bike wankers, your bike wankers were queuing up to buy the Honda Goldwing, which was basically a fucking settee on wheels. And then check these prices out again. I love these old prices. So, 1974, your Ford Cortina was up to £1,550. Staggering amount of money. Petrol was 50p a gallon. An all-time high. A pound of Stork SB. Stork SB, that was 18 pence. Pint of beer, 22.5 pence. Bottle of whiskey, £2.57. Yeah, that was a proper bottle of whiskey, not clan Jew shit that we used to nick in later years from top off licence. Tell you more about that as we get near 1980. A bag of Golden Wonder crisps were 7 pence. Your average weekly wage for a male was £48.63, and the average weekly wage for a no-tail female was £27 and a penny. Which, again, you know, there's a massive difference between the two, but I still think that's a little bit too much money to give a woman for a week. Yeah. It evened out the year after. Firsts for 1974. Stephen King's first novel, Carrie. Classic. Also, the first time that Bailey's Irish Cream. Oh, I can't go near the stuff now. I got pissed on it a few years ago because it was all that was left in the cupboard. But it had curdled because I think it was about 8 years old. And I drank it, and I'll be honest with you, it didn't agree with me. So I've not touched it since. Although, this Christmas, a mate of mine, little Catty, he made me a Bailey's cheesecake. Homemade, yeah. Homemade Bailey's cheesecake. Although, he did actually admit that it was made with the little Baileys. So it's not fucking Baileys, is it? No. And his biscuit base was shite. But apart from that, good effort, Catty. Thank you. Room for improvement. The first ever prawn cocktail skips. Still available to this day. And then the last of the first here was the invention of fuck off. The Rubik's Cube. Oh, yes. The Rubik's Cube. It used to come all with the same colours on every side, and then you'd go and then try and get them back again. Could I fuck do it? Absolutely useless. So I took it to my bedroom because I think Dad wanted to watch some porn or something without me in the room. Yeah, a bit harsh. And I took it up the bedroom, and I couldn't do it. I was getting mad. So I took the stickers off and put them all back and took it down, and Dad thought I was a genius. Yeah, life hack. Rip the stickers off. Love the fucker. What was happening in fashion in 74? It was peasant-topped tunics and homemade decorated clothes with patches. Scruffy bastards. The must-have toys of 74 were Twister. Never been a fan of that. No. It's alright for like some role play. You know what I mean? If you want to try some different positions out. Tonka toys. Yeah, the big yellow beasts. Tonka toys. And then, I do remember this. The Spirograph, which were like shit wheels that you'd put a compass in and stuff like that, and it'd go around and make patterns. Yeah. Fucking rubbish. They sold millions. Bloody millions. Births. Notable births in 1974. Victoria Beckham. Who, to be... I still, even though I was born on Westcliff, which, as you know, is one of the posh parts of Scunthorpe, I still don't find her that posh. They called her Posh Spice. No, I think she's a little bit skanky, to be honest. Who else was born? Leonardo DiCaprio. He was born. And only last week I watched, because it was 2 hours, 2 hours 38. Old DiCaprio owes me this fucker. 2 hours 38 I sat through The Revenant. What a sack of shit. Seriously, what was the point? Ridiculous. And Robbie Williams, he was born. Deaths. Mama Cass. Oh, bless her. Mama Cass of Mamas and the Papas died choking on a sandwich. Oh, right voice on her though. Bud Abbott died. Bud Abbott was, he was my Saturday morning regular of Abbott and Costello. Costello was the funny guy. Bud Abbott played the straight man. But yeah, loads of Abbott and Costello films. Loved it. Loved it. The top names in the UK in 1974, top boy's name was Paul. And the top girl's name was Sarah. Yeah. So that's all you had back then. You had boys and girls. Yeah. Because you either had a Winky or a Wizzy. They were simpler times. Right, your TV themes. Let's tell you what they were. The first one, it was Rhubarb and Custard, yes. Rhubarb was a green dog, and Custard was a pink cat, and it was narrated by Richard Bryars, he of Good Life fame. Now the second one, a bit of an odd one really. I did watch an awful lot of it and didn't really get it. So it stated at the beginning, once upon a time, not so long ago, there was a little girl, and her name was Emily. And she had a shop. You fucking what? All right, yeah. So this little girl's got a shop that didn't sell anything. Yeah, let's run that by you. Okay, so it was Bagpuss. Raggy old, saggy old Bagpuss. But Emily loved him. My favourite character was the wooden book-ended woodpecker, Professor Yaffle. Little spectacles on. Yeah, Professor Yaffle. And your last one. Too many episodes of this cack. Because it was pretty much the same story with just a variation on the character. And it was the Mr. Men. The Mr. Men. You had Mr. Tickle, Mr. Greedy, Mr. Happy, Mr. Nosy, Mr. Messy, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Proper Mr. Men. I wouldn't be surprised this year if they redid the Mr. Men. So it would probably be Mr. Not a Mr., even though he clearly has an Adam's apple, big hands and a cock. Yeah, but he's not a Mr. Or Mr. It's my human right to use a non-gender neutral toilet. Unbelievable. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in 75. Yeah, there's some proper stuff happening. I've already researched it. Right. So, it is New Year's Day 2023 currently. So, have a good year. You know what I mean? I think it'll turn out to be shit, to be honest, but whatever. We're just doing our best, aren't we? Till the Matrix collapses in on us. So, cheers, peeps. Subscribe. Love to you all. See you later in 75.
Tracks